Two men have been arrested after four police officers were injured in Villa Road, Lozells, Birmingham at 1 p.m. on the 24th of October. We shared the CCTV yesterday on the 26th of October and it went viral on Twitter. Don't forget to follow for videos that can't be shown on YouTube on the Twitter as well. Police were on patrol, they said in a statement today, and they used dispersal orders in response to recent concerns over activity in the area. They spoke to a man and asked him to leave the area, but he refused to. Some of the police officers then tried to arrest him and then they were punched and also bitten. It was at this point that a bike was thrown at the police by another man, and the other male started to punch the police officer in the face before he was put to sleep by an older gentleman that seemed to be running the store that he'd taken fruit off. As the video shows, I have no idea what ninja deathlock this older gentleman used, but it seems to have been very effective and he put him to sleep. He was unconscious on the floor, and as they said in the report, several officers were injured during that incident. A 22-year-old male was arrested on suspicion of assault and a 30-year-old male arrested on suspicion of assault and possession of drugs. They remain in custody for questioning. 3 officers were taken to hospital for injuries that were not serious. Detective Superintendent Jim Monroe said that our police were in the area and they are on the front line every day, often putting their lives in danger. Attacks on staff are part of daily duties and they are unacceptable and will not be tolerated. In the latest update to this story, the 2 men have been charged with offences. The police have said in a further statement that a 22-year-old male has been charged with 3 counts of ABH, which is actual bodily harm, and a 30-year-old male was charged with 2 counts of assaulting an emergency worker and also possession of Class B drugs. In some other news coming from Birmingham, the police have said they've recovered 4 firearms in the last 6 weeks in the city. One of these was a revolver that was found in a parked car in the Quinton area of Birmingham, and this led to the arrest and charges of 2 people. On the 3rd of October, firearms officers spotted a car on the A35 in Walsall Road into the city and recovered a shotgun in the back of the car. 1 man has been charged with that offence. They also did 13 manhunts and arrested all 13 people, and one of these included the arrest of a male aged in his 30s from Albury, who they believe was significant in drug supply in the local area. They said they pulled him over and found a loaded revolver, and he's now been charged with possession of a firearm and returned to prison for breach of parole. This is all part of Operation Target, where Birmingham police are trying to clamp down on gang culture and violence associated to criminality. Between July and August, they said in a statement that they've shut down 25 drug lines. 5 of those were believed to be supplying drugs that killed people as a result of overdoses. Detective Chief Superintendent Paul Drover from the Major Crime Unit said, "Tackling those who cause the harm to our communities is our main priority. We have a focus on targeting organised crime groups that are involved in guns, drugs and also violence." Meanwhile, in the Wolverhampton area, 2 men have been convicted of dealing in firearms and kilos of cocaine using Encrochat. Max Williams believed he was operating under the radar of law enforcement as he was part of a huge operation to distribute drugs and firearms. The West Midlands Regional Organised Crime Unit did an investigation and is now facing prison for his crimes. The investigation was also part of Operation Target that focuses on the most serious criminals in the West Midlands. Williams used Encrochat to be able to communicate with other criminals and also broker deals with firearms, ammunition and Class A drugs. He also sent images of firearms including a semi-automatic and fully automatic weapons alongside ammunition that would have been provided. He used the name Skilled Twig and spoke openly about his business and had regular conversations with a man called Daniel Morgan, who was known as Noisy Jade. Both men were involved in buying large quantities of cocaine, heroin, MDMA and different strains of cannabis. In addition, hundreds of pills are believed to have been sold as well that were ecstasy. In 2020, law enforcement agencies in Europe had developed a way to collect information from Encrochat, and the information was shared with Roku. They found information about where the men sourced the drugs and also how much they put on top to make a drink. They cross-referenced the chats, mobile data and images from their phones, and the investigators were able to link them to the crimes. Multiple images of kilo amounts of drugs were also sent on the platform. Both of the men were arrested in 2020 and they found drugs in the property in the region of £5,000. Williams, 35, from Sandbrook Road, Wolverhampton, was arrested in December of 2020 and they seized a number of phones. He denied being involved in the supply of Class A drugs and the supply of firearms, but was found guilty after a 4-week trial. Morgan, 39, from Birmingham, pled guilty to the charges at an earlier hearing, and both of them will be sentenced in December. Detective Inspector Peter Cook from Roku said, "This was a complex investigation which resulted in the chain of supply being dismantled. These men traded in weapons that would have caused a lot of harm and also death to anybody that came in contact." So I really appreciate you joining me for this episode. I'll be back again very shortly with some more news. Don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe, and follow online as well at Scarcity Studios. Peace. This is the Scarcity Studios YouTube channel. Please don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe.